Coming up on today's show, the COVID vaccine hub at Stonebriar Center is open. Beau Cormican will join us with more.
And the Elite Hawks are stepping up to the first Hilltop Talent Show. See a preview of their routine coming up.
Baseball and softball are starting their district play. Connor Fuxa highlights this and all things Rock Hill sports over the break. These stories and more coming up on this edition of HTN Daily.
Good afternoon, Blue Hawks, and welcome to HTN Daily. I'm Trois Murphy.
And I'm Anica Hankey, and we are live from Studio 1060.
Today we were able to go to Stonebriar Center in the City of Frisco Vaccine Hub. Anica, you were able to get your vaccine yesterday. How are you feeling?
I feel good. I'm fortunate enough to not have any side effects so far. It's crazy. We've been waiting a full year for this vaccine, and it's finally here.
Our lives are starting to look a little more close to the normal we knew last March with the introduction and approval of 3 vaccines in the United States. Almost 5 million Texans have been vaccinated, and that number continues to grow each day. The City of Frisco has been allocated 8,000 Pfizer vaccines. Beau Cormican joins us from Stonebriar Mall, where residents are being vaccinated. Beau, what does the scene look like today?
Yeah, thanks. With the advent of new COVID-19 vaccines rolling out all across the country, we're seeing more and more distribution centers popping up all over the place. Like here at Stonebriar Mall, where the City of Frisco's vaccine hub was just allocated 8,000 new vaccinations by the City of Frisco. And we're seeing here that they've opted for a walk-in style rather than a drive-through style, and that has led to some pretty quick turnaround rates. People are coming in and getting the vaccine within 3 to 4 minutes. So, to any teachers out there who are already eligible or any students that can get their hands on it, you may want to sign up for the last few spots today or keep your eye on the site for future developments.
Thank you so much, Beau. To register, people must be categorized under Phase 1A, 1B, or 1C as outlined by the Texas Department of State Health Services. And you can visit friscotexas.gov/vaccine to sign up. In addition to 1C, teachers are also now eligible to get vaccines. Several teachers shared their vaccine photos with us, with Miss Whitty and Miss Hodum sent us this photo. Miss Rowland got her vaccine at McKinney ISD Stadium and sent us this photo after she got her shot during spring break. And finally, Miss Nettle had a big smile on her face while she held up her vaccine card. Thank you all for sharing your photos with us, and if you get the vaccine, tag us on social media at Rock Hill Media.
On campus, Jocelyn is here for seniors. The time has officially come today where our caps and gowns have arrived. All orders prior to March 11th are in the cafeteria right now to be picked up. A photo ID is required to grab your cap and gown. If you ordered after March 11th, your cap and gown will be arriving to your home April 8th. If you have not yet ordered, please make sure to do so as soon as possible at jostens.com. Seniors, there are still 3 team openings for dodgeball. If you would like to sign up, you will need 10 players on your roster, choose a captain, and go to room 1221 to register. The cost is $20 per team. This tournament will be supporting the prom committee, so sign up for your chance to throw dodgeballs at your favorite staff members. Next Friday, the Hilltop Talent Show will be live streamed for all students to watch. The campus will be following an activity bell schedule, and at the end of the show, students will have the opportunity to vote for their favorite acts, and the winner will be revealed live.
One of the acts hoping to get your vote is the Elite Hawk Step Team. Khshaeta Cama caught up with them in their final practices before the performance to see how they are planned to step above the competition.
The Elite Hawks use their bodies as instruments for a skill that culturally has been passed down for over a century.
People think it's just dance or they call it stomp, but I really think it's something that is very important and close to me.
The group of 5 ladies, some with years of dance experience, and others with none, stepped up to form the first step team on campus.
If we weren't friends or actually care about each other, I feel like it would not win well at all.
We're very much sister-like. We may have our, fits and fights, but, we come right back and we just hit harder than ever.
After months of practice, the group found their rhythm and choreographed their biggest dance yet, the talent show.
To be honest, I was scared. We were prepared, but I felt unprepared.
I was confident in a way. I just wanted everybody else to be reassured that we're going to get through. And so, I kept pushing them and I kept being positive.
The Elite Hawks now wait to see if the emotion they put into their performance will connect with the student body watching.
I like to show out how I feel in my step and put my emotions in my step.
I'm really looking forward to creativity coming out of us, a lot of energy and just radiating positivity.
For HTN Daily, I'm Khshaeta, Cama.
Anica, what would you say your favorite toy was when you were younger?
Mine was definitely Tickle Me Elmo.
Mine was definitely a Baby Alive, but it's sad to know a lot of kids weren't fortunate enough to have access to these kinds of toys. Madison Wells highlights Rock Hill's engineering and the work they put in towards universal play.
From competing in everything from state to national competitions, Rock Hill's robotics team has created some complex machines. And this right here is not only the product of the team's hard work and effort, but the knowledge that they've gained through their active engineering work.
Adding, building, machining, programming, working on electronics, just learning how to combine all of that stuff I learned in the classroom into building a robot and a real-life experience. This club has taught me more than any other class has ever taught me.
And with the experience and knowledge this team has gained, when Marva Leslie Rodriguez, the CEO of Beyond Able, an organization seeking universal play for disabled children, asked for a helping hand in re-engineering toys, this team had all the tools they needed to contribute to a greater cause.
The idea is to provide an immediate solution, right? Like adapt toys so kids with physical disabilities can play with them, and to inspire, to educate high school students about universal design.
Let's roll on out of here.
Well, when I joined the club, I never thought I'd be doing anything like this, so it feels great to be able to make these toys for Beyond Able, because I can see that what I do not only makes a difference in what I'm learning and the stuff I've learned from the club, but I can make a difference in other kids' lives, be able to help other people through engineering.
From building robots to rewiring toys, Rock Hill's engineering is now not only bettering their education, but bettering the lives of children all around the area. For HTN Daily, I'm Madison Wells.
Our Blue Hawks were in action over the break with boys and girls soccer wrapping up their district play. Connor Fuxa is in studio to reveal how they are doing in today's season's pass.
Girls soccer continued their district play over the break. The Blue Hawks came out on top over Princeton in a decisive 3-2 victory. That win moves the girls team record up to 8-6-8 with a 5-4-4 record in district. Friday night, the boys soccer team left Princeton no chance to get competitive in a 3-0 win. The 3 goals came from Andrew Gentile, Ashton Medina, and Mateo Cabrera. This win moves the boys record up to 9-5-1. This Friday marks the end of districts for both Blue Hawk soccer teams. The girls will take on Lovejoy at home while the boys take on Lovejoy on the road. While the rest of us enjoyed spring break, baseball and softball took no days off. Starting off with baseball, Rock Hill's very own Aiden Lamar pitched 6 innings and racked up 11 strikeouts. The sophomore allowed only 1 hit during his time on the mound. The following weekend, the team went 2-0, beating Centennial 3-0 and Sherman 7-5. District play starts up this week as the Blue Hawks go on the road against the Colony on Friday. While baseball enjoyed the rest of their preseason tournaments, softball headed full swing, beating Sherman handily 11-2 in their first district game of the season. Jolie Madeline went 3 for 4 in the batter's box, hitting in an RBI and scoring 2 runs of her own. Another big performer over the week was Grace Burlage, who pitched 7 innings with 9 strikeouts. Burlage also had 2 RBIs in her 3 trips to the plate. The game against Sherman seemed to be a warm-up compared to the 17-3 victory the girls took over the Colony. Veronica Coley proved to be a major asset, stealing 2 bases and batting in 3 RBIs. While our Blue Hawk athletes are busy competing locally, athletes around the world are preparing for the 2021 Tokyo Olympics, which are just a little over 100 days away. Today, Grant Johnson is in studio with local U.S. Olympian Johnny Quinn, who knows what those last 100 days are like for these athletes. Grant?
Thank you, Connor. And that's right, Johnny Quinn is no stranger to the Olympic process and the intense training that comes along with it. So first, I want to say thank you so much for being on the show today.
Grant, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Of course. So when the news was first released that the 2020 Tokyo Olympics were going to be postponed, what was your reaction to that?
Yeah, disappointment, right? I think there was a lot of disappointment with last year. And it's so interesting because you spend 4 years training for an Olympic game. So, the athletes getting ready for 2020, I mean, they had this marked on their calendar. And when things began to shut down last March, and when they finally pulled the plug on the 2020 Olympics, a lot of people had to rethink their schedule. And so as an athlete, you're getting ready for the Olympic Games, and then it gets taken away. Tough. It had to be very tough for the current athletes getting ready.
Yeah, most definitely. So whenever you were training for those 2014 Sochi Olympics, what were the last 100 days? Because I know we're 100 days away from the Tokyo one, finally.
Yeah.
What were those last 100 days like for you personally?
Yeah, 100 days out, very stressful, right? Very intense. We were on our World Cup circuit competing in Europe. So we were in Austria, Switzerland, Germany, Italy, bobsledding and accumulating points to qualify for the Olympics. And so, you've got these goals along the way that you're trying to achieve to make the Olympic team, and then you've got to score enough points to get sleds into the game. So a lot of things are going on. A lot of people don't know this, but Olympic sports in the United States are self-funded. And so, you know, you're trying to find ways to finance your career so that you can continue to bobsled while you're, you know, traveling in Europe to compete. So there's a lot of moving pieces. As we got closer to the Olympic Games, it was so interesting in that we kind of got tunnel vision, and that's the only thing you could think about, right? We've waited 4 years for this moment since the last Olympic Games, and we're almost here. So there's this anticipation brewing.
Yeah, so whenever you were actually competing in those games, did you feel the intense pressure while you were actually competing, or did you still have that tunnel vision mindset?
Yeah, so what's interesting is when you walk in opening ceremonies and you hear them say, you know, the United States of America, and you're wearing the red, white, and blue, and you're there with your teammates and your friends. I mean, Grant, the adrenaline is out of the roof. I mean, it is incredible, right? Incredible. Well, the Olympics happen over 17 days. And we get the schedule, when's the bobsled race? Day 16. And so we had to kind of calm it down a little bit, yeah. Right? And you know, take a breather. It gave us a chance to go to support other Team USA athletes, watch them win their medals. And Grant, what happened is it added fuel to the fire, because as you're getting ready for your time on Olympic ice, everything that you have worked for is about to come true. Right? So there's this excitement, there's this adrenaline, and there's this kind of relief that we're here and it's coming. And as a competitor, I mean, you are just kind of licking at the chops to get to the start block and get out there and get after it for Team USA. So I remember at the games, you're enjoying the Olympics. It's an incredible experience. It's an incredible venue. But you have that tunnel focus, that tunnel vision, that you are ready for race day.
Yeah, most definitely. And so these Olympics are just so close to their goal, finally. What would you say to maybe a student that's sitting in their math class or their science class that's watching this right now and they feel like their dreams are so far away?
Yeah. You know, here's what's so interesting is when I sat in your shoes, and I went to high school, you know, 10 miles away from here at McKinney High, I never thought I would be an Olympic bobsledder. Right? I played football, and I thought I was going to go to the National Football League. But what I realized is that when things get tough and you're in the messy middle, right, where you're frustrated, confused, anxious, whatever it may be, I need you to understand that there's a reward at the end that is so much greater than the struggle through the process. And I got to tell you, when you know, competing in the Olympics, coming back to Dallas, Texas, it truly opened up doors that have been remarkable. And so I think if you're sitting here today and you've got these dreams that they feel like they're on the back burner, let me just give you some encouragement to keep going after that, to keep fighting for your dream. Every dream is important, and you need to keep fighting for it.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for all the encouragement and that insight into what those last 100 days are like. Thank you so much for joining us today. Back to you guys.
And finally today, hope you have your brackets ready because March Madness is here. The National Invitational Tournament starts tonight. The men's SMU basketball team came here to our arena to practice for their game against Boise State. They play over at the Co-American Center in Frisco tonight.
I think it's cool anytime that somewhere that I went to school at, and the coaches, the people that I know, the players, I still know some of the players that come back and get a chance to practice in front of our kids. I think it's amazing.
That's all for today's show. I'm Connor Fuxa.
I'm Anica Hankey.
And I'm Trois Murphy. Mask up and rock on.